Okay, so now that we've refreshed our memory on what resources are and what plentiful and scarcity mean and how it affects cost, let's work some problems and really look at how this affects our math portion of learning about money and financial literacy. So here we go. Anton collects baseball cards. He wants to buy a card that is very hard to find. We're going to use the table for questions 1 and 2. So let's order the baseball card prices from greatest to least. This is the most expensive. This is the least expensive. So the most money and the least money. So let's look at these prices. Well, card C is definitely the most expensive. It's $135. Which one comes next? I have 22, 39, 3, and 5. The next most expensive is going to be $39. So that's card B. The next most expensive is $22. That's card A. Then we have card E at $5 and card D at $3. So we've ordered them from most expensive to least expensive, or greatest to least. So which card do you think is the one that Anton wants to buy? Explain using the term resources. So we need to have this word in our answer. So let's go back. Anton collects baseball cards. He wants to buy a card that is very hard to find. Very hard to find is our big clue. We need to use the word resources. So which card do you think it is he wants to buy? That's right. I'm thinking it's going to be C because it costs the most. So, I think Anton wants to buy card C. They must have made only a few of this card. Oh man, I still haven't used the word resources. Let's work that in there. They must have made only a few of this card because when resources are scarce, the cost is greater. All right. So I think Anton wants to buy card C. They must have made only a few of this card because when resources are scarce, which means there's not a lot of them, the cost is greater. So we've used our vocabulary and we've explained why we think this card is more expensive than the rest of them by quite a bit. Just like the red toy set was more expensive because there's fewer of them. Okay, let's look at number 3. Mrs. Garcia is looking for a doll for her daughter Maria. The table shows how many of the dolls are available at some stores. Use the table for questions 3 and 4. So now we're going to use this one. It says, at which store do you think the price will be the lowest? All right, well, let's look at our table here. This is a frequency table. Good to know. At Tammy's Dolls, that's the name of the store, they have 1 doll. At Place of Dolls, they have 10 of them. At Toy Village, they have 120 dolls. At Midland Toys, they have 20. And at Dolltown, they have 10. So at which store do you think the price will be the lowest? I'm thinking it's going to be Toy Village. Why do I think that? That's right. I think that because they have the most toys. They have a plentiful collection of this doll that Miss Garcia is looking for her daughter Maria. So I think I'm going to write small. Toy Village will have the lowest price because they have a plentiful selection. All right, so the cost is lower because they have more. Cost is higher when you have less, lower when you have more. Let's explain. Explain why a store might lower the price when it has too many of a particular resource. Ooh, we talked about this in social studies. How many of you remember? When they have too much of something, they might put it on sale. Why do they do that? They do it because they want to sell the inventory so they can put something new in its place, or so that they can raise the price back up. When you have too many of something, you have to lower the price. So explain why a store might lower the price when it has too many of a particular resource. The store wants to sell the resource quickly, so they lower the price. That is the why. Okay, let's do one more together, and then on the next page, you're going to get to do some on your own. It says the members of a service club want to raise money by selling muffins. The types of muffins are listed in the table below in order from most muffins made to the least muffins made. So we are going to use the prices $1, $2, $3, and $4 to assign a price to each muffin. Okay, so the prices are listed from the most muffins made to the least muffins made. From most to least. So we have the most of the chocolate muffins and the least of plain muffins. So if I have the most of the chocolate muffins, what price should it be? 1, 2, 3, or 4? If I have the most of it, it needs to be $1 because remember my resources are plentiful, so I want to sell those so I can make sure that they, so that I can replace them with something else. So how about banana? It's the second most popular, or have the second most of it, so that needs to be the second price. How about bran muffins? Well, I don't have very many of them, so I need to make sure that the price is where I can still make money from it. And how about plain muffins? Well, they're going to be the most. Because I have the fewest of them, they cost the most money. Because I have the most of them, they cost the least money. All right, so that's what I'm going to put. The muffin with the most quantity is the lowest price. Okay? So, one more time. The fewer the resources, the higher the price. The greater the resources, the lower the price. Fewer resources, higher price. Greater resources, lower price. Keep that in your mind. I want you to try the problems on the next page, but on your own, and then check your work at the bottom.